What's up? Intros.
Alright, it's Trill. Got the mile to my left.
How you guys doing? How's everybody?
Got Jason
Calrissian.
J. Cal left here.
Jesus, stay on the line!
Random pregnant woman walking by. This is West Philly, folks, so this stuff tends to happen a lot, you know.
Some people just gotta be on camera.
One of the things I want to touch on is the lack of quality comic books out there right now. Example, I go to the comic book store probably twice or three times out of a month. I come away with only 2 or 3 books each time I go. Now, I just don't see anything interesting out there. It's not that I don't comb the shelves looking for books. I do, from A to Z. The indie stuff, the mainstream stuff, Marvel, DC, Vertigo, everything. But I see about 2 or 3 books normally that I'm interested in, and that's it. So what I want is for people to tell me via YouTube post response, tell me what books I need to be looking for. Whether it's a superhero book, Vertigo, whatever. Tell me something to buy because I'm looking for stuff to buy when I go in the stores. It's just that I come up with only 2 or 3 books each time. I don't know about you guys, but that's how it is with me.
Yeah, no, that's how it is with me too. I haven't bought a book and I can't remember one. And I don't think it's because, I'm just being cheap.
Right.
I want to spend less on books as I get older. I feel like, spending $50 at the comic book store when you got a wife who's about to be, have a kid and stuff is probably not a good idea.
Maybe not.
But it's just nothing I see that's interesting. Last book I saw I really liked was The Siege. And I really, I'm going to be honest, a lot of stuff I buy nowadays is just like, Frank Cho's art is great. Oliver Copiel's art is awesome. Travis Charest is still rocking it. Jim Lee's awesome, so I buy that for the art almost more so than for any of the books. And I find that sad.
Well, there's nothing interesting. The reason it is because just like you become desensitized to violence, you become desensitized to the lives of these superheroes.
That's a good point.
How much can happen in the life of one person or one team before enough is just enough? How many godlike beings do they have to defeat? How many times do they have to come back from the dead or become a horseman of apocalypse before just enough is enough and you're tired of seeing them? It's just unbelievable. It's just all too much.
And you become desensitized to the big events as well. I mean, they're doing big events every year.
Back to back almost.
Back to back. I mean, your House of M, Civil War, Secret Invasions. I mean, it's too much. What's this new thing now? Shadow something that Marvel has going on? Shadowland, I believe.
Yeah.
Seems like a ninja crossover. I don't think Marvel has too many ninjas.
Well, see, I think that opens up the door, though. I think the fact that Marvel and DC and all these other companies, not all these other companies, basically Marvel and DC. Because the other ones, Dark Horse and Image, I don't really have anything negative to say. Like, they're not consistent with all these random crazy crossovers. Right. And they do from time to time put on, excellent work. It's either good or excellent. It's never garbage. And sometimes it may be mediocre, but never garbage. But I think that's because they're pressing more original ideas and they've got more diverse people they're pulling from. And so I think while they're doing good, it also opens the door for, indie creators. I see a lot of people online, they got comic books. I've seen a couple of good books. I know Arsa works on some good books, arsentertainment.com. Captain Kachela. Plug. Shameless. When you get a book, you can put it on there, but till then, it's mine. So yeah, I think there's a lot of good indie stuff going on. Different places have different books. Where's that Ashley? Did you have Ashley Wood's book?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if there's a lot of good indie stuff out there because maybe I don't know. I haven't seen it, but when I go to the stores, again, I'm looking in the indie section. And I'm coming up short in the indie section too. I don't see too much of anything I want to buy. Now, one thing I read consistently. If you're into fantasy, check out Millennia War.
See?
This is an Ashley Woods book.
That's in the indie section.
I love it. It's in the indie section in some stores if it isn't sold out.
Yeah.
Now,
Indie Planet too. Which is another thing, Indie Planet selling books online.
You can go online if you're in the Chicago area. You can go get the book from Brand Cracker Comic Shop.
You think Marvel and them do that? Sell books online? Like it seems like it would make sense for them to do it because they're big enough to really do it easy.
I think
but
Mark Waid was talking about.
I've never seen that. The closest thing I've seen to a Marvel book sell online is like the Dot Comics or whatever. Like I can't remember seeing the space. I'll check that out later on. Because I don't remember seeing it, but maybe it's there, like a space where you can order a book. They used to do subscriptions, but I don't know if they do that anymore.
You know what? I'm not sure, but back to the indie point. I like Millennium War, and that's really the only indie book I read.
Right.
I like the fantasy genre. I like that it's not restricted by Marvel and DC's creative process, which is don't kill any of the main characters off, or if you do, bring them back like the next year. So that's the only indie book I'm really digging, and the only superhero book I'm reading is X Factor.
Okay.
Aside from that, I'm just not reading.
Are you just done with superheroes?
It's not that I'm intentionally done with them, like, oh, I hate superheroes, I can't stand them. Some of these British writers, some of these, I guess, British comic book writers out here, oh, I can't stand superheroes, screw them with. No, I'm not like that. I want to be in the X-Men, Spider-Man, and all that, but it's just that it's old and it's boring. And again, like you said earlier, I become desensitized to their lives. The big
maybe it's time for Spider-Man and the X-Men and Thanos to exist in separate universes, each to his own story without interacting.
The self-contained.
Maybe it's time. It just becomes too much.
No shared continuity.
It kind of used to be that way. It kind of used to be that way when we first started reading comic books.
When we first started reading comics, when comic books first started.
When we first started reading comic books,
yeah.
Which I imagine for you, like it was me, was what, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
See, it used to be that way, where in the X-Men book, you didn't really see Captain America come along like that. Like, that was something special if you see Captain and X-Men.
Right, and that's part of why it started doing it more and more often, because it was special then.
Right.
And then it kind of like the big crossovers,
exactly.
The big events.
Infinity Gauntlet was special. Age of Apocalypse, that was
special. It made sales, they wanted to see it more, so they just did it to death. Yeah.
See, there's a perfect example right there, and you start me up on my rant, my Captain America rant. The perfect example of why the universes should just stay to their own separate titles.
I don't even know if these were for rant.
Captain America, on his word alone, ends the Civil War because he decides that he's had enough of the carnage and it's just time for one side to be the bigger side. He's going to turn himself in, and his whole team, his whole faction is just going to quit with him. I'm sorry, but why should someone on the X-Men listen to Captain America?
I don't think they did.
To the average Joe in a Captain America story, that steroided super soldier from the 40s may have been someone special, but to someone fighting the likes of, Ultron, Onslaught, who is Captain America? He's no one special. He's just a man with a star on his uniform.
He's got an adamantium shield.
He's got an adamantium shield. There's a man with an adamantium skeleton. Everyone's got adamantium these days. Doesn't Bullseye have some somewhere in the sky?
He's got an adamantium condom.
But what the hell? It just makes no sense that Captain America decides to lay down his shield and turn himself in. One second. And all these people that have much more at stake. These people are fighting for their very existence against an oppressive regime.
How do we?
Solutions. So we're not just going to rail on how bad this is.
Yeah, because I'm totally against that. But how do we fix it? I know me as a fan, how I fix it is I don't pay for it.
Right. I think one way you can do it is by buying more indies.
Here's what they tried to do. They tried to come out with
indie.
They tried. Let me give you a shameless plug.
IndiePlanet.com. Captain Kachela.
Seriously, how do we go about fixing it?
They tried to come out with the Ultimate line, which was supposed to be a rejuvenation, a shot in the arm, but I don't think they went far enough. It shouldn't be an alternate line.
Right.
They need to just redo everything.
No. I
don't think that's it. I disagree with that. I don't think you redo anything. My answer is this, and it goes against the common sense of business. You end Spider-Man, X-Men, and all that crap. It has to end eventually. Just end it. That's it. Just cut it off because
here's the
to a
thing.
point where you've done everything with the character that you could possibly do.
Here's the thing. You're thinking from a creator, artistic, fan of the medium standpoint, and you know they're not going to do that because they're thinking from a business standpoint, and not so much that they can't both exist, but unless you switch your business model from constantly selling these pamphlet issues and making millions so that you can pay all these salaries to selling little books and series until it's over, and then selling a new book and series until it's over, and then selling a new book and series until it's over, kind of like that Japanese manga.
Exactly. That's why
the manga model, then there's no way they could do it. Like, if they ended Spider-Man today, you know how many people be out of jobs? They would close out a whole section of a building in New York.
Create more characters. See, that's the thing. You create more characters in that time period with that same staff.
I think maybe you just have to get the fans conditioned to it. They're not conditioned to it because they're conditioned to Superman being on issue number 500 or 600 by now. Condition them to it, they'll get used to it.
Is the whole dilemma that you have with say, oil. Everyone knows it's going to run out someday. These superhero stories, as you can see already, people aren't buying them. People are getting tired of them. But they're scared to go off of them because that's all they know. That's what people know. That's what's popular.
I think it's a little different only because I think, and the oil companies probably disagree with me, but I think it's probably easier for oil with the billions they make to switch us over or help ease the people into electric or some type of hybrid thing than it is for an entertainment-based industry. Like, you're basing this on entertainment. It's hard to take someone, if what your sales are coming from is this book that has this character that you like on it, it's hard to snatch it out of people's hands and think your sales are going to do great. You're basically selling a whole new product all the time.
No, but the same way you're coming out with
So what's the solution?
I think that's a good solution. I just think that it's hard to do.
It's impossible. It's never going to happen.
You want my solution? You don't want to hear my solution.
I mean,
this is my most optimistic solution. You want to fix the problem? Get rid of Marvel and DC.
Well, here's a good middle ground. Start weaning people off of this interconnectivity between titles. Just
the continuity thing.
Yes. Just wean them off of it. You have to just wean them off. Get them used to not seeing Spider-Man teaming up with the X-Men, teaming up with the Fantastic Four, because now it's just popping glitz and no substance, and you have to outdo yourself every time.
Hold the rest of that. We're going to finish that thought in the next segment here on another episode. Well, this is Trill signing off for Kamal, signing off for Jason Calrissian from West Philly.
Jason Calrissian. J-Cal.
J-Cal.
Can't get it? J-Cal.
Jizzy.
Or Jizzy.
I don't know about that. I know you want to call that.
Lady Gold has called me that.
Ew. Alright, we're out. That's it. That's a wrap. Alright, folks.
Yo, I mean, seriously, they really take this long?